Time is an aspect or emanation of the supreme deity. Kronos, Saturn, time, was the oldest of the Greeks who, after his deposition by Zeus, lived on an island of the blessed in the far north. Lord of the golden age, the sickle indicates that he harvests everything. Macrobius praises him as the creator of time. In Indian myth, the supreme god Vishnu exists beyond time, yet he also reveals himself as time, which in its course destroys the world. Sleeping on the world ocean, Vishnu dreams the world, and when he awakens, it disappears. 4,320,000 years constitute an age. When 72 times 28 such eons have passed, this is one day and one night in the life of Vishnu. In Egypt, every dead person became the supreme god Atum, who was yesterday, today, and tomorrow. The god He represents endless time. He holds two letters, the hieroglyphic symbol for millions of years. From his arms hang the Ankh-Ros symbol of life. His consort Het was a frog-shaped goddess of rebirth and resurrection. Another form of the supreme god is Shiva, who sustains the world through his dance. The terrible destroyer, all-consuming time. His companion, Kali, from Kala, time, is the Black One, for time is dark and opaque, harsh and merciless. Here she steps upon her husband Shiva, who lay beneath her as a corpse. When she became aware of this, her fury on the battlefield ceased. The Quetzalcoatl, the supreme god of the Aztecs, lord of fire, lord of time, giver of all good things and sustains life on earth. Through the mediation of the four Quetzalcoatl's, he created the world, but the four vied for supremacy and thereby created irreversible time. The sun god, as giver of time. The lunar cycles, but especially the solar cycles, enable humans to measure time. This makes the sun god the measure of time. Besides the image, the Sumerian sun god Shamash rises between the two mountains above the horizon. At his feet, which are indistinct, are two lions, which hold the eastern gates of the horizon. The jade pillar left, representing a stylized tree or spine, symbolizing his resurrection. Above it stands the Ankh-Ros of life. Above that are two arms, the Ka, soul of the sun god, the sun disk triumphantly rising above the horizon. Baboons worship the rising sun god Ra. At the summer solstice, the sun is in the sign of the lion. He judges all things, for all plants without deep roots wither then. Thus the summer heat is beneficial and life-giving, but also brings sickness and death. After the hero Mithras has completed his earthly career, he was chosen as the son and companion of the sun. Indeed, as the sun god himself, he brought humanity a new age. At the top of the image, Oceanus and the sun god. Below, Mithras and the sun god. Twice at the bottom, Mithras with the club of the sacrificial bull. The sun god of the Maya and Aztecs as the source of cosmic energy. It needs sacrifices of human hearts to maintain his course. Without such sacrifices, the end of the world would come prematurely. In Christianity, Christ became Sol, Salutis, son of salvation, or Sol Justice, son of justice. The saints of the church calendar govern the individual days, but Christ rules the zodiac and his influence on the human world. The first human attempt to measure the time using the sun was the gnomon. It was first invented either in Chaldea, Egypt, or China. It consists of a rod of a certain length positioned vertically above the plane. The changes in its shadow length indicate the hours of day. The obelisk is a variation of this principle. In the 6th century BC, the gnomon was introduced. To Greece by Anaximander. Vitruvius, 30 BC, mentions 13 variations of this instrument. However, all gnomons are smaller and therefore less accurate. If the rod is aligned parallel to the Earth's axis using a compass, the gnomon can be transported. Such instruments are called universal gnomons. Varying the length of the rod according to the season creates an astronomical gnomon. There are also night gnomons that are oriented toward the moon's orbiter, the path of a circumpolar star. Depiction of the measurement of the summer solstice using the shadow of a staff. It represents the legendary Hisi Shu, who holds the gnomon with a crossbar as a shadow measuring device. Antica Sonor. Garden sundial. And a sundial at the base of the column in the 17th century. Spherical astrolabe, star hinging instrument. The Danish astronomer Tycho Brahe predicted a total solar eclipse for August 21st, 1560. His prediction was praised as something divine. He also built an excellent observatory in Uranienburg, which was later moved to Prague under Emperor Rudolf II. Cyclical time. Both in China and in the West, a cyclical concept of time was known. The Great Cycle is the advance of the spring equinox through the zodiac signs. The western and the eastern zodiac contain different symbols. Then we have the zodiac. These signs are meant to determine the symbolic quality of certain time periods, through which they shape all the events coinciding within them. The realms of being, which extend in cyclic cosmic spheres from God, angels, humans, animals, plants, minerals, and matter, to nothingness. The highest and lowest points are timeless and conceived as infinitely far removed from all others. Chronos Saturn, the clearest pattern visible to the naked eye. That should be clearest, I believe. That moves the slowest. It gave Zeus the mark of creation. Above it is Kepler's representation of the trine formed by the major conjunction of Jupiter and Saturn every 20 years. The triangle moves along the signs of the zodiac 4 per step, thus dividing the circle of equinox precession. One triangle takes approximately 2,400 years to complete the circle. Saturn rules the outermost boundaries of the planetary sphere. Astrologically, it signifies melancholy, illness, eccentricity, creativity. Cyclical time always returns to its starting point. Therefore, man tried to create a perpetual calendar. Just as in our church the days of the liturgical year belong to specific saints, in India the great eons of history were marked by saints who bestowed their spiritual substance upon them as a seal. The wheels below probably refer to cycles of time. Abraham Cuesca, Catalan Atlas. Astrologers increasingly combined their mythological symbols with exact numerical values. The Table of Solomon, which is intended to predict the day and the time of the lunar phases for all times. Series A lists the lunar phases from 1490 AD. Each subsequent year has a different letter until the cycle repeats after 19 years. Spatie's depiction of the 9 orbits of the Moon. The drawing shows the forward motion of the principal axis of the lunar orbit. These orbits were marked by symbolic colors. The Chinese bronze mirror, Sui or early Tang dynasty, contains firstly the Chinese zodiac signs, Further inside, the far cardinal points are represented by 4 animals. Such mirrors reflected the basic spatio-temporal structure of the universe. The 4 animals: tiger, west, dragon, east, firebird, stallion, the tortoise, or warrior, north, ward off all misfortune, and bestow long life upon the owner. Time is a procession of gods. In many ancient cultures, time had a qualitative aspect. Its segments were symbolized by a god. The Aztec calendar stone, made by order of King Axayacatl. In the center is the sun god, surrounded by rectangles in a circle with the dates on which the earlier suns were destroyed. At the very top is the date 13 reeds on which the last sun, was born. This calendar inscription is a copy of the Mayan relief. The top symbol on the left has no numerical value. On the right, the human figure carries a burden, which represents the number 144,000. This must be multiplied by the value of the human face. 9. In the second row, 7,200 is multiplied by 15 and 360 by 5. The third row represents 0 times, 20 times, and 0 times 1. All the numbers together add up to 1,405,800. The number of days since the calendar began in 3113 BC. The result is a day in the year 736 AD. The human face is so profiled because the dots on the chin, a fleshless jaw, or stylized hair represent numerical values.